You've got, there are a whole bunch of factors that you have to look at. One is the increased costs that are projected for 2009 and then will be projected for 2010, the cost of the system going up. Right now, there is zero contribution from the retiree towards the premium costs for a plan that provides fairly comprehensive coverage. There is a current 100% contribution from the retiree for dependent coverage and vision and dental, which are handled separately. And then the current disparity wherein retirees who receive Medicare have to pay approximately $106 a month towards Medicare Part B to get that coverage, while they are also getting the county's the retiree health plan. And younger retirees who receive the county retiree health plan, they don't receive Medicare and they have no additional costs. And that's felt to be a disparity in impacts felt by so-called younger retirees and so-called older retirees or ones on Medicare. So those are kind of the factors that you have to take into account as you look at this. So options. The one option that was looked at is passing the total premium increase of $85 per month. That's an increase between the current plan year and next plan year. Next plan year, the premium will be $85 a month higher, and the idea is to pass that increase on to all retirees. So that's one option. Another option was to cap the retirement system's contribution towards premium costs to the present level. And what that would, essentially that's the same thing as saying that the $85 increase would go to retirees, but by framing it as a, in that way, it means that that would also be true of future increases as well. So it essentially would say, okay, the retirement system is capping, and the county are capping their contribution at this level, the present level, and any increases from here on get passed on to all retirees. Another option was adding a monthly contribution of $106 per month to the younger retirees or the non-Medicare retirees, so that they have kind of an equivalent personal hit, if you will, that as the Medicare retirees who are paying $106 a month towards Medicare. And then another idea is adding monthly premium contributions of varying levels to retirees regardless of their Medicare status, or taking into account Medicare status. So you can kind of look at what impact that has. And then changing contribution levels for coverage for dependents was another thing that was looked at. So what I want to impress you with is it was a fairly wide-ranging conversation. You can package this in a whole lot of ways. The desire for kind of not getting too complex here was to limit the number of options that were being presented, and hoping to get direction from the board as to whether any of these options are acceptable as is, or to receive direction that some other grouping would be useful. As far as time frame, why are we here now? This timing and making this decision in the month of September allows for advance notice of retirees before the open enrollment period. It's very important for the integrity of the open enrollment period that people know what it is that the plan looks like at that time, so that they can make a good decision when it comes to open enrollment. And so the whole purpose here is to have this decided and this information available in time for the noticing of the open enrollment period, which is in time for any implementation of open enrollment changes, as well as the board's decision to be made January 1st. January 1st, 2009 is the beginning of the plan year, and that is the best time to make a change, is at the beginning of the plan year. And in part, one of the reasons why this discussion didn't surface with this specificity a year ago was because by the time the review and the options had been reviewed, it was too late in the cycle to be able to deal with the 2008 plan year. And so that's why the timing. I guess I'll just tell you up front, this could roll to the 23rd. If there were direction from the board, we could look at this on the 23rd. But A, we would need pretty clear direction, and B, that's the time at which a decision would have to be made, because the next board meeting in Ukiah is not until October 21st. So I'm just kind of framing that up front, so as people think about things, you know the timing that we're looking at here. Okay, so Retiree Health Benefits Committee recommendation. This is where I made a correction. The committee discussed raising retiree contributions towards the retiree health plan premiums by the amount of $200 per month for non-Medicare retirees and by the amount of $100 per month for retirees receiving Medicare, and then continuing full payment of premiums by retirees for dependent, vision, and dental coverage. They discussed that. However, that was not the recommendation that they ultimately made to the retirement board. But since there was quite a bit of discussion, and my understanding is that there were people, it was somewhat of a split vote, it's listed here. What that would have yielded in terms of projected revenues would have been around $894,000